Two boys on my street do yard chores for me and my neighbors every summer, but they've gone from simple jobs to lawnmowers and weed eaters, and last year one almost stepped on a snake. Right. Am I liable if one of them gets hurt in my yard? How would you handle this?
Yeah, this is kind of a loaded question because, you know, let's focus on the snake question. Typically, in a situation like that, there's not going to be any liability on, you know, if you own a home and one of your friends come over and they get bit by a snake, unless you have a bad snake problem where you are kind of on notice. You know, in other words, if you live by a pond and you have water moccasins, you know, constantly and it's caused trouble in the past, then possibly. But, you know, the general answer for someone that is injured on your property, it's only if you know that there's a problem. In other words, let's say that you dug a hole in your backyard, you know, for whatever reason, and you failed to warn the person that's in your backyard that there is a problem, then yes, you could be liable. But the standard for a homeowner is kind of low when it comes to whether the person's going to be liable or not. But as long as you tell the person that there could be a problem, then you're going to be okay.
So if the snake pit that you have in the back of your yard, that could pose a problem for people.
Right, it could.
Well, so what's the level though? Because I've wondered this, like when you hire people to do jobs at your house, like at what point in the transaction is there a dollar amount where you need to ask, like, hey, do you have insurance? Are you licensed? Are you bonded? You know, when do you need to ask, you know, those questions to make sure that you're protected in case something does happen?
Oh, typically, I mean, if there's anybody that comes on my property, whether it's tree cutting or power washing, it doesn't matter. I always ask if they're licensed and bonded. You know, usually for damage that may occur to your house. In other words, if you hire someone that's a tree cutter and they, you know, cut an oak tree down and it, you know, crashes through your house, obviously you want that person to have insurance. And if they don't, good luck in getting reimbursed. But as far as someone that, let's say the tree cutter falls out of the tree, and I've actually had this call before where someone fell out of a tree as a tree cutter, and they want to then sue the homeowner, kind of in a workers' comp situation, and that's not going to work. You know, they're taking the risk. They're an independent contractor, and the homeowner's not going to be responsible in that type of situation.